What do we use it for? Hey?
We use it to make wheat.
We do. That's good. Okay. A cottage. Does anybody know what a cottage is? What's a cottage? A small house. I think of a cottage, I think of a little cottage like in the woods at the Smoky Mountains, a little cottage. Harvest. Does anybody know what harvest means? What does harvest mean? Do you know? Can you help her? Huh? Well, yeah, kind of. A harvest? A harvest is like when the wheat grows and they go out to cut all the wheat. They harvest it to get it ready. Remember that was in your story. And this is wheat. And we do the wheat and beat it, mash it up to get the grain. Yeah. And then it goes where? Can y'all read that word?
The meal.
The meal. Good job. I'll stop throughout the story and see if you remember the words, okay? So the Little Red Hen is what we're going to be reading. So the title is?
The Little Red Hen.
Alright. Anybody know what that is?
A cottage.
Oh,
A meal.
Meal. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a little red hen who shared her tiny cottage with a goose, a cat, and a dog. Raise your hand if you remember what the cottage was. What's the cottage?
A little house.
Oh, good job. The goose was a gossip. She chatted with the neighbors all day long. Does anybody know what gossip means? You do? Tell me.
It means you gotta tell people something.
That sometimes isn't true or about somebody? Yeah. That's good. The cat was very vain. She brushed her fur, straightened her whiskers, and polished her claws. Does anybody know what vain means? No. Vain would be like she's proud of herself. She's pretty and wants to fix everything just right where she looks good. The dog was always sleepy. He napped on the front porch swing all day long. The Little Red Hen ended up doing all the work around the house. She cooked, she cleaned, she washed the clothes, took out the trash, mowed the lawn, and raked the leaves. She even did all the shopping. One morning on her way to the market, the Little Red Hen found a few grains of wheat. She put them in her pocket of her apron. Does anybody know what the market is? What's the market?
A little shop where you get lots of vegetables.
That's right. Like a grocery store too. When she got home, she asked her friends, "Who will plant these grains of wheat?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I will plant them myself," said Little Red Hen, and she did. When the grains of wheat began to sprout, Little Red Hen cried, "Look, the wheat I planted is coming up. Who will help me take care of it this summer?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. "Then I will take care of it myself," said the Little Red Hen, and she did. All summer long she cared for the growing wheat. She made sure it got enough water. She hoed the weeds out carefully around each row. By the end of summer, the wheat had all grown tall. Does anybody know what hoed means? You know, you got to see a garden, and you got the weeds, and they'll take it's like a stick with a sharp piece of iron on it, and get all the grass around the plant where to come up pretty. And when it turned from green to gold, she asked her friends, "Who will help me cut and thresh the wheat?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. "Not I," said the dog. Does anybody know what thresh means? What's thresh mean?
It means it is like watered and it's like tasty and stuff.
Threshed. Threshed is when like they cut the wheat and then the thresh is there, and they have to use some kind of mechanism to beat the wheat out, to get the seeds out, so it's threshed. Okay. Then I will cut and thresh it myself, said the little red hen, and she did. When all of the wheat had been cut and threshed, the little red hen scooped the wheat into a wheelbarrow and said, "This wheat must be ground into flour. Who will help me take it to the mill?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. And "not I," said the dog. "Then I will take it myself," said the little red hen, and she did. The miller ground the wheat into flour and put it in the bag for Little Red Hen. What was this?
Meal.
Meal. Then all by herself, she pushed the bag home. Pushed the bag home in the wheelbarrow. One cool fall morning, not many days later, the Little Red Hen got up early and said, "Today would be a perfect day to bake some bread. Who will help me bake a loaf of bread with the flour I brought home from the mill?" "Not I," said the goose. "Not I," said the cat. And "not I," said the dog. "Then I will bake the bread myself," said the Little Red Hen. And she did. She mixed her flour with milk and eggs and butter and salt. She kneaded the dough and shaped it into a nice plump loaf. Then she put the loaf into an oven and watched as it baked. The smell of baking bread soon filled the air. It smelled so delicious that the goose stopped chatting, the cat stopped brushing, and the dog stopped napping. One by one, they came into the kitchen with Little Red Hen. When the Little Red Hen took the freshly baked loaf of bread out of the oven, she said, "Who will help me eat this bread?" "Oh, I will," said the goose. "And I will," said the cat. "And I will," said the dog. "You will?" said the Little Red Hen. "Who planted the wheat and took care of it?" "I did." "Who cut the wheat?" "Who threshed it?" "And who took it to the mill?" "I did." "Who brought the flour home and baked this loaf of bread?" "I did." "I did it all by myself. Now I'm going to eat it all by myself." And that is exactly what she did.